appeal this afternoon, and at this point, I'll read the findings off of that prior to our standard meeting. After reviewing the record of the disciplinary tribunal hearing of student number 91701 and providing for representations of all parties concerning student number 91701, it is the decision of the Carroll County Board of Education to uphold the original decision of the tribunal. Thank you all for being here. And at this time, I'll call to order our regular meeting. To begin with, we'd like to welcome all of our visitors here this afternoon. Happy New Year. Hope everybody had a good break, and we're glad to see everybody here. If you will, join me now as we have the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. As order of business, to begin the year, we now need to elect a board chair and vice chair for this year of 2026. So I'll open that up.
I'd like to make a nomination.
Yes, ma'am.
Carrie Miller as chair.
Okay. All right. Got a nomination for chair. Do we have a second?
I'll second that.
We have a second. Okay. Nominations for Carrie Miller for chair. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. And look forward to serving you all again. What about vice chair? We have a nomination for vice chair.
Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a nomination of Ms. Morris for assistant chair.
We have a nomination for Ms. Morris for assistant vice chair. Do we have a second?
I'll
Have a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. Any opposed? All right. So the officers will be myself as chair and Ms. Sandra Morris for vice chair. I want to thank Tom Sizemore for serving as our vice chair for 2025, and I also thank the whole board. What a great service it is to serve this community and this school system, and we look forward to all 7 of us serving this year. Now, at this point, we get to go to the good stuff for student achievement, and I'll turn it over to Dr. Jessica Ainsworth.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. Mr. Miller and members of the board, we talk to you guys regularly about preparing our students to be enrolled, enlisted, or employed after graduation. So this evening, we have one of our principals, Ms. Cook, representing all of our high schools, and she'll share, as well as some students, about just a few of those efforts to prepare students for life after high school. Ms. Cook?
This is the fun part. We get to talk about what our students are doing. So a big initiative in Carroll County, as you know, is our Future Focus initiative. And I have brought with me 2 students tonight. This is Riley Gibson. She's a 9th grader at Mount Zion High School. And this is Angel Bonilla, and he is a junior at Mount Zion High School. And what they're going to just briefly talk to you about just for a few minutes is one of the things that we do with Future Focus is our advisement program. It's a huge program. It's not through 12th grade. It's something that we are very proud of, and I wanted them to share their experiences, and it's kind of 2 different experiences, one as an incoming 9th grader and then one as a junior. So I'm going to let them speak, and then I'm going to speak to you as a parent for just a minute about our future-focused efforts and what we're doing with that. So, Riley, if you'll go first.
Hey, thank you all so much for having me. And so advisement, something new to me came in. I was like, whoa, what is this about? But as I've learned and gone through a couple of the sessions, it's a really great opportunity for me to think about my future. There's a lot of times I'm just worried about right now, but it puts me in the future. So I get to learn about things like what I need to do to graduate. It makes me think about my classes, and that helps me for what I'm doing this year and what the other classes I'm going to take in order to graduate, and it not be my senior year and I'm like, oh, I can't graduate, and then life after high school too, which, seems so far away right now, but it's really not that far away. And so, it gives us those options of employed or enrolled or enlisted, which for a lot of students, I feel kind of lets them be in control of their life, They don't just have to think, oh, I'm going to go to college, or, I'm just feel like there's other options and they have control over that. And so I feel like that helps them definitely to have a more successful future and show them that there is other options for those who don't like the normal things. And then I get to learn certain things like which chords, I want to have all the chords when I graduate. And so advisement helps me show okay, what can I do now to work towards that? And so it's very future focused. And then it also allows me to get to know an adult and ask questions about my future. You know, so often about the day I'm like just worried about my schoolwork and what's happening right now, but I can ask those questions and have those times to ask those questions. And you know, I've had my adults talk to us about what we want to do in the future and put that question in our head of what are we going to do someday. And so I think advisement has been such a great thing to show me what the future is going to look like and help me be in control of my future. So thank you all.
I'm Angel Bonilla, and I'm just going to talk about a little bit about how advisement has helped me through my career so far as high school. So advisement is something I'm very familiar with. I came into my 9th grade years. I think that was the first year we started advisement, and it's been really helpful. As a junior now who just started to enrolling this year, it's been so helpful for what I'm doing now and what I have planned for my future. Advisement is really built on those 3 E's, being enlisted, employed, or enrolled. And we get to see that a lot at Mount Zion High School. We bring in a lot of people that come and recruit those who want to be enlisted. We have a lot of people who come in to employ kids who want to go into the workforce after. And then we have a lot of people in colleges that come to visit us and talk about these colleges. Recently, we had the University of Georgia come in, and that's one college that I hope to go into. So advisement teaches us a whole bunch of things, like how to build our resumes, and get those applications that we need to have to be able to apply for scholarships. Georgia Futures is one of the ones that we use a lot to be able to get federal funding for dual enrollment. So those things that we learn in advisement really do help a lot of us out. They help a lot of the kids who don't really understand what they need to do to be able to dual enroll and get into college in the future. So that's one of the good things of advisement that I really enjoy. And even then, advisement's a lot of fun. You get to plan how you want your future to go, and it's just, you get to think a lot about what you want to do in your future. So that's how advisement's helped me. And of course, like what Riley said, I get to learn about the chords that Mount Zion High School offers. I also do want a lot of chords when I graduate. Love being a very academic achiever. So, and advisement just really does help a lot with that.
Great.
And I want to say, so from a parent's perspective, advisement just doesn't affect the students at the school. So each month, I have a junior at Mount Zion High School as well, and each month there's a parent newsletter that gets sent to us. It tracks everything: employed, enrolled, enlisted, engaged, all of the things that we're having the students talk about. They're sending that information out. Now, most people look at me and say, "You're a high school principal. You should know all these things." I should, probably, but you know, on a daily basis, I may not remember where to go to look for that scholarship opportunity or where to help my daughter go to apply for Georgia Futures. So that newsletter that we are sending to parents and that I'm getting each month, that I click on and go, "Oh yeah, it's time for me to do this," or "Here's the SAT," or and we're sending that for every student in this district to get. Every parent gets that newsletter. It has also helped us structure our parent nights when we meet with parents, because they'll get those newsletters and those generate questions. And so when you start getting a certain number of questions in an area, you go, okay, we need to address that in a parent meeting. So we're able to take that newsletter and also generate some survey questions and figure out where people need. But those newsletters have been huge for me as a parent, but they're also huge for me as an administrator in how we interact with our parents and what we're able to do with our parents. So that's a little bit about what we're doing with Future Focus Advisement across the district and their experiences with it. So thank you for allowing us to share.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Board members, comments, questions?
I'd like to comment. You young people are so impressive with your presentation. You're so comfortable, and I'm just really impressed. I know you know what you're talking about. I mean, this isn't somebody that just, they told you to say this. I know you understand. So thank you, and you speak well for our system. Thank you, Connie.
I want to say to Riley, you're part of the you're part of the superintendent's.
Yes, sir.
You were in my group. We sat at the table together. Yeah, I knew we had met.
Yeah.
Both of you, to what Ms. Sanders said, did a great job, and that's a testament to Mount Zion and Carroll County. But Yeah, I knew that was you. It's good to see you again. Both of you did great.
Mr. Miller, if I can add it, 2 more points. First, a point of privilege. Ms. Jennifer Shirley is in the audience. You heard about the parent newsletter and advisement. Those are just 2 of the many things that Ms. Shirley helps direct as the Executive Director of Teaching and Learning. So thank you, Ms. Shirley, for your efforts and really taking parent feedback and revising what we're doing to send to parents. So I just applaud you, Ms. Shirley, and everything that you've done. In addition, in eBoard, we've put some links for you guys. At any point in time, we know that you're in the community and you're being asked, what are we doing to prepare students for the future? Those links are available to you, and anything that we can do to help better equip you as board members, as you're having those conversations in the community, please let us know.
Absolutely, and they were very helpful. A lot of information there. Thank you so much. Okay, great report, great job. At this time, we'll move ahead to stakeholder engagement. Mr. Scott Coward, our superintendent.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I've got a couple things that we want to share with you under stakeholder engagement. We want to start out, every year we do a fine arts update. It's usually done towards the end of the year. Mr. Ruby will come in and he's going to do that again this year. But we felt so good after December that we felt like we needed 2. And I'm going to let him share with you why we felt so good about it.
Thank you, Mr. Coward. I appreciate the opportunity to share with you some updates from our month of December. If you ask our music teachers, there's no tired like December tired for musicians, and this year has been no exception for that. It was a milestone month for Carroll County Fine Arts. It was characterized by record-breaking performances, deep community involvement by our programs, and a successful implementation of new educator support systems that we have in place this year. First, I want to share a little bit about our Performing Arts Center. Of course, the Performing Arts Center remains at the heart of our mission for the arts in Carroll County. And I wanted to share a few statistics with you. Between December 2nd and the 18th, the PAC hosted 14 evening performance events. Wow. Notably, a fine arts event took place 14 of those 17 nights. When you take away the 2 Sundays, that's 14 of the 15 nights that took place at our Performing Arts Center, which is just amazing. Many of those events featured multiple schools and cluster-wide concerts, which increased our attendance and visibility with those programs. We also welcomed an estimated just over 7,000 patrons attending these performance events in the evening, which continues to increase in all of our clusters throughout the county. Also, I wanted to make a special note that we had a school and county administrator in attendance at every single one of those evening performances at the Performing Arts Center, which reinforces our collective commitment to the arts in Carroll County. Further, that does not even include the multiple number of daytime events that took place in the month of December at the Performing Arts Center. And I want to highlight 3 of those events where we had performing arts students participate in providing entertainment at 3 of our district events. First, our Whitesburg Elementary Piano Club provided entertainment at our county principals meeting. The Temple Elementary School Chorus was the entertainment for our countywide luncheon, office luncheon, and the Glanton Heinzman Elementary Chorus brought Christmas carolers to the board office to share some of the holiday cheer with our board office. Beyond what's happening at the Performing Arts Center, the impact of our fine arts programs continue to play a major impact in our community. Our programs hosted or contributed over 50 performances and other events within their schools and throughout the community. I started to try to count them all, and I got to 68, and I'm sure there's more than that, some things that maybe we aren't even aware of, but as you can see, that they were very involved in all of our school and community events. Our students sang at civic clubs, marched in parades, performed at community-wide holiday events, nursing homes, and churches. They even had an event at the animal shelter and painted on several businesses for the holiday season. This further strengthened our bond between our schools and our communities. Beyond the numbers, I do want to take a moment to brag about our teachers because we continue to see elevated performances and program quality throughout our county thanks to the professional development that they're receiving. Our programs are utilizing event planning charts and meetings, timely debriefs, and future-focused goal-setting initiatives, and enhanced communication tools. I also want to brag on our new teachers in Carroll County. Our newest educators have achieved remarkable success in a very short period of time. I believe this can be directly attributed to the county teacher induction program that we have in place in Carroll County and the new teacher onboarding that we do in Carroll County. And new this year was a new fine arts mentoring program for our teachers that we implemented. A special note, I want to brag about Dorcas Bishop. She's the elementary music teacher at Bowden Elementary School. Their performance at the holiday event in December went from 10 students last year to 42 students this year. That's a 320% increase in participation at that school, which is absolutely amazing. Want to thank Ms. Charity Aaron and the Performing Arts Center staff for continuing to work tirelessly to provide us a world-class venue for our programs to be featured in. And Mr. Coward, to you and the Board of Education, I know I say this a lot, but I don't want to not take this opportunity because it's so important, and it's so important for you guys to understand the support we get from you as our superintendent of the Board of Education for Fine Arts in Carroll County is absolutely amazing. And it does not go unnoticed, not only in Carroll County, but outside of Carroll County. We continue to get asked how we get the support that we do in Carroll County. So I want to thank you and the board for supporting us, supporting our students, our programs, and our teachers, and allowing us to do what it takes to elevate those programs. In closing, I want to say that our teachers have been diligently working to provide more premier experiences and performance opportunities for their students and advocating for their premier programs to be a program of choice, which has proven essential in creating schools of choice in Carroll County. So thank you again for the opportunity to share with you tonight.
Absolutely. Board members?
We just thank you for what you do and how you are so caring and kind, and that goes a long way, not only with board, but students and parents as well. So thank you again.
I think we ought to give them a big round of applause. I will say that everything starts from leadership, and your leadership and the things that you do inspires all those around you. And I can only imagine that we're getting a lot of accolades around the state, because I think we're all amazed at what's going on in fine arts, and it does add so much. And so this board thanks you for your leadership so much, Mr. Ruby.
Thank you.
Mr. Chair, if I could add to, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
He was not originally on the agenda for tonight, and we were reflecting last week about the board meeting upcoming, and then I thought back to December, and it just spoke to me that I was able to get to several of these, not all those. And the quality, the passion, the talent, the preparation that I saw was just spectacular. And I just felt like we really needed to have a pulse check mid-year, because it is Mr. Ruby, but it's every one of those teachers
Sure.
he's talking about are doing great work in those classrooms and doing these special extra things for our students. But let's don't lose sight of then how that connects with parents and community. I mean, having 7,000 patrons is an, estimate of that's coming in and out of those performances, just as at the PAs. That's a lot of touch points. It's a lot of connecting, a lot of people happy about what they see. So I too echo Mr. Ruby, for you and all of the fine arts staff. We are so proud of what's been accomplished and look forward to what's to come.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, I'm very grateful for the vision of the board working together collaboratively with Mr. Cower and having the vision to see the need for a fine arts coordinator for the very position that you fill. And your leadership, as they have already said, can't say it enough, your leadership to our other leaders underneath you are just evidence of what we've seen. And so thank you so much for leading and for this board for agreeing that this was a good thing for our county, and now we're seeing the fruit of that. And so we're very, very thankful for that. Thank you.
One last question. The date for the January's performance in Athens.
So Villa Rica High School Jazz Band received an invitation to perform at the GMEA In-Service Conference. This makes 5 consecutive years Carroll County's had a performing group at the conference, and they are the first jazz band ever selected from Carroll County to attend that. So their performance is on Thursday, January 29th in Athens. I'll have to double check the time for you, Dr. Brooks, but I will share with you that on Monday, the 26th, they're going to do a preview concert at the Performing Arts Center. And I've talked to Ms. Wilson today, and she'll be sending out invitations for that. So if you're not able to make it to Athens that Thursday, you're more than welcome to invited to come to that on the 26th.
Thank you.
Good deal. All right, thank you again. So at this point now, we'll turn it over to Mr. Glenn Harding for organization.
I'm still up here.
Never mind,
Still got some more
got
stakeholder
more good
engagement.
stuff, and I'm sitting here looking at it, I don't know what's wrong here.
All right. It's that time of the year where we work with different stakeholder groups to discuss our calendar options, and then we bring information to you. Remember, today is about just getting it on the table, and then we will work with our dynamic team over the next month to see if there are things that we want you to consider in changing. What I would point out is for several years now, we do 2 years worth of rotation. So the 26-27 calendar was approved by you last year. But we will look at it again to see if there's any tweak that needs to be considered. And then we'll propose, which is in your packet, the 27-28 calendar. So we'll bring both back to you in February with any input that we get from, I'll be in front of Teachers of the Years tomorrow. We'll be asking them. I'll be in front of our student ambassadors Wednesday. I'll be asking them. We'll have the dynamic team. We'll be asking our principals. We'll be to a number of different groups that we gather input from. But I'll be glad to answer any questions that the board members might have about instructional calendars laid on the table until February.
Great. Any questions?
And I got one final stakeholder engagement, little update thing for you. Just put on your radar to remember in February, maybe into early March, we'll be doing our annual on-the-table type events that we've done for the last several years in partnership with the Community Foundation. The Community Foundation will no longer be doing it, so we're just going to continue it on our own because we saw value in that opportunity. So be looking for invitations from your cluster leaders about when that would be, and we hope that you will be able to attend the one for your cluster. This year, our target audience is going to be more leader types, for example, like the mayors, city council people, community commissioners, leaders of that nature are going to be the targeted group for each. Yeah.
There you go, son.
So anyway, just be looking for that. That should be coming out to you soon.
Very good. Any questions for Mr. Coward? Okay, now we'll go to Mr. Glenn Harding for organizational excellence.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. It's been a little while since we've given a facility update, but I wanted to touch base on 2 schools. Starting out, we've got Mountain Zion Middle School up there first, really hitting the ground running. A lot of the poured walls and foundation and all, as that starts to go, and a lot of the underground stuff is taking place and completed. But if you'll notice, something that sticks out on those 2 bottom pictures, they already have the parking area that's already paved and curved out. So that turned out really nice and gonna add, for growth there in the coming day, the future, you know, especially when they have basketball games and school-wide events. So, working with RKR has been very, very good. Partnership's been very good, a lot of communication, week to week, because we hadn't worked with them, recently, the last 2 or 3 years, but that's gone very well. So that's Temple Middle School. Mountain Zion. Moving to Temple Middle School, a little bit, I would say behind Mountain Zion in the sense, because they had to do that big retention pond and clear a lot of woods and stuff. But the block's starting to go up there. Again, working with RKR has been pleasant there. This job has actually been very, the principal's very happy about this one in the sense of where it's located, because it's kind of out of the way. School's happening without any kind of interruptions, and you can see even you can see right there where it's wet, they are continuing to get out there and work. So again, any questions about Temple or Mountain Zion at this time?
When do you expect the temple to be completed by?
We hope it end of right before school starts. It'll go up to that, because remember, Ms. Morris too, is when we get that done and the summer hits, we'll do that front road and front drive as well. Yes.
That's gonna be the real challenge,
that's-
but that's gonna really be
It's
the
gonna be
icing
very
on the
beneficial.
cake.
Yes, ma'am, yes, ma'am. Okay, Mr. Chair, moving to next, I think, is our fundraisers and field trips requests that are listed there. You know, we were kind of out of sort when we had our meeting at the school nutrition, so we didn't have our December on there. So I wanted to bring that up, that on the consent agenda will be December as information, and then also January's on here. That's for field trips and fundraising requests. We asked those both to be on the consent agenda for Thursday night.
Anybody opposed for those to be on the consent agenda? Very good.
Okay, Mr. Chair, I've got one other thing tonight that I wanted to take an opportunity, and I want to do a mid-year update around our safety efforts. Again, safety is a priority at Carroll County Schools, and this board has made that a focus ever since 2010 or beyond. So I want to thank you again for that. A couple of things I want to highlight in this preview is, remember, we're working currently under the state grant from the governor of $1.1 million. Just want to remind you that went to upgrading our strategics, our crisis alert system, and it also goes towards our funding our SROs across our district. We also, from the governor, if you remember last year, gave us an additional one-time grant of a little over $500,000, and that has been going to upgrade and adding access control, cameras, and several fencing areas that need to be attended to. We are in the middle of that project now, and of getting all this stuff. We had to wait and get everything approved by the state, and now that's been approved, that stuff is rolling pretty quick now, and we will close that grant out in the month of June of this year. We had another grant opportunity. I think it was the beginning of last year or the end of the previous year. The Bay Springs, we got a grant of $190,000 to put in a shield system, and that shield system has been tested and is online and active during the first semester. So again, just want to make sure that the board knew that Bay Springs did have that shield system and it was active. We continue with our director, Mr. Tim Griffin, and myself and Mr. Russell Grizzard. We're really working with Ms. Price and trying to look at opportunities for as many grants as we can get. When we're looking at these grants and we're able to get what I call free money, or jumping through hoops and writing, giving them information, we want to do that as much as possible.
Great.
Next, our school resource officers. I just want to remind the board that we have a new partnership with the City of Temple. We were able to get a SRO at Temple High School and Temple Elementary, and that partnership has gone very well. We've worked with the chief and we've worked with the mayor, and it has been a smooth transition, and it's a very, very beneficial partnership that we have that's really serving our Temple schools this school year with SROs. We were also, if I remind you, at the last minute before school started, we were able to work also with Sheriff's Department here to get an SRO at Bowden Elementary as well. So just wanted to remind the board of that, because as we're looking at the future, the board has really charged us with looking at SROs and continuing to look at how we can do that, and we're researching that now and working with our local agencies to kind of see, okay, where are we at, what may or may not be available for us next year to add to that.
The Bowden's in place now.
We're not working directly with the city of Bowden yet. We've got the Bowden Elementary
Right.
was through the Carroll County.
Yeah, but we have one there now.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay.
Yes, sir. And then lastly, just wanted to let everyone know that, we do the GEMA audits where Russell Grizzard, our safety coordinator, and GEMA go around to our different schools to kind of do a kind of inventory of what our school looks like in the area of safety, and those start in January. Any questions from the board around safety?
I have one question.
Yes, ma'am.
All of the schools have SRO officers?
All of our schools do not. We currently have 4 schools that don't have SROs.
And those are?
Ithaca Elementary, Sand Hill, Mount Zion Elementary, and Providence.
The middle school has one.
All the middle schools have one. And then just where you'll know, just where y'all know as a board, the officers that are at Temple Middle School will serve and do rotations at Providence. And then Bay Springs, if there's an issue or need to be there for some reason, Bay Springs would report to Sand Hill and Ithaca. And of course, I'm sorry, Mount Zion High School right down the road from Mount Zion Elementary, they do a lot of observing and rotate down there as well.
So we got one at Sharps Creek.
Yes, sir, we do.
Okay. Okay. And then our shield, is that up to 11 now?
It's, I think it's 9.
9,
but,
okay.
But we have it in the project plan for Temple Middle School, and
That's-
we have
that-
it in
that
the
would make
plan for
11,
Mount
yeah.
Zion, so it'd be 11.
Yeah, great. All right. Any other questions for Mr. Harvey? If not, well, thank you, Mr. Harding. Good report. And then we'll turn it over to Ms. Deline Wolf for our financials.
Thank you, Mr. Miller. I have 3 information items this evening. The first one is the November financial report. This report includes the revenues, expenditures, and outstanding purchase orders for each of the funds. And page 2 of the report includes the general fund details. Revenues for November were $45.7 million. Now, November is the month where the largest percentage of the property taxes are collected. Then the next significant month there is December. For expenditures, totals were $15.8 million, which aligns to the same period last year. And then the fund balance is $53.8 million, which covers the FY26 budget, and the district is on track to end the fiscal year with a fund balance of approximately 2 months of operating expenses. Looking ahead to next year for fiscal year 27, the district is continuing to work on building that budget. In December, I shared the first look at that budget. This week on Thursday, Governor Kemp is scheduled to give the State of the State message, and then historically the governor's state budget is released the same day. And so once we get that, we'll be able to have more information that will help us in building next year's budget. The budget timeline for next year's budget is also attached in eBoard. It is unchanged from December. Moving back to this year and page 4 of the financial report, SPLOST receipts were 1.9 million, which is a slight decrease over the same period last year. SPLOST 6 collections are scheduled to go through June, or we expect them to go through June of next year. For SPLOST expenditures, the total in November was 61.6 thousand. The balance for the scheduled SPLOST 6 PAYGO projects is 11.6 million. In looking ahead for SPLOST 7 projects, the projected timetable for the 2026 bond issuance is scheduled to begin next month. With, if the board approves, then that would allow for a bond closing in May, which would then go to or towards financing SPLOST 7 projects. That timetable is unchanged from December's meeting as well. And more information will be provided at next month's meeting. The second information item that I have is an update to Regulation DJEDR1 regarding bids and quotations. The most significant reason for the update in this regulation is a change in state law that was driven by House Bill 137 for public works contracts. This new, the revision to that law raised the public works bidding threshold from 100,000 to 250,000. We also had a few other areas where we were referencing state thresholds for dollar amounts for the Georgia Procurement Registry. We've removed that reference to the dollar amount so that if that changes, then there would not be a need to update the regulation, and we're referring to the state law instead. The tracked changes are attached in eBoard. Okay, and the third and final information item I have is the independent accountant's report and audit report for SPLOST for fiscal year 25, so for the period ending June 30th, 25. Pleased to share that we received a clean audit. This is a major accomplishment, is really from the outstanding work that Ms. Williams and the business department team, as well as Mr. Beers and the facilities team, that they do to ensure that we meet all of the requirements. I'd be happy to answer any questions on either of the three reports.
Any questions? How does that surprise us that we got a clean report? We never want to grow. We never want to grow where we don't appreciate that. But that's every time we open one, we see that from you all, and it's so much appreciated, and for the whole department. But I did recognize that you said it's not just your department. It's Mr. Beers and throughout the whole thing to make sure it goes through. So please pass along congratulations, and that's very good. So very, very good stuff, and thank you so much. Anything else for Ms. Wolf? If that's the case, then we'll go to Mr. Jerry Griffiths for continuous improvement.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good evening, Board. HR's been busy preparing the school allotments for the upcoming 26-27 school year. Hiring season has already started, and we look forward to adding additional talent to our school district. One of the focus priorities for Human Resources this school year was to create an employee benefits hub. And we were able to create this one-stop shop for our employees back in September. It was a project that was carried out through the summer. Ms. Wolf has it up on the screen for you to look at currently. Employees have access to information about state health options, supplemental insurance, investment options, and many other things on our website right there at their touch. They don't have to find the benefits booklet that they get back in the summer, or the email, they don't have to locate those things. They lose that email, can't find it. They can go to our website, and all of that information is there. Based on current data, as of last week, that website's been clicked on over 2,500 times. We have just over 2,000 employees, so theoretically, potentially, every employee's clicked on it at least once. So we're excited to say it's being used. We hope it's a resource for our employees. I also encourage you as board members to get on there and play and see what we offer all our employees. We also see it as a recruitment opportunity for prospective employees. It gives them an opportunity to see what we offer our employees. Many times those questions for them in the past haven't been answered until after they've become an employee. Well, now they have more information and can come into employment in Carroll County with more knowledge about what we offer. And maybe there's something there that helps sway that decision too if they're debating between multiple districts. So if you would, take time to look at it on your when you have a moment. And also tonight in eBoard, you'll see that there's an MOU from Moreland University. It's a standard MOU asking us for permission to place their interns in our schools for clinical experiences. And we recommend that this MOU be placed on the consent agenda for Thursday night. And that concludes my report, Mr. Chair.
Does anybody have an issue with us putting that on the MOU on the consent? So we'll add that. Great report on I love that deal on the website for the benefits. I do covet it for my own company a little bit because I think I've lost my email a few times. So that'd be great for any company. So it's good work. Anything else for Mr. Griffiths? If not, we'll move on to public input tonight. I don't see anybody here, so we'll move on to business items. We got one business item.
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. One business item. Mr. Hardin talked earlier about several grant opportunities we had in the area of safety. This is another grant opportunity that we have in the area of mental health, and it's for $240,000 that we can use, and we have listed how we would use the funding. 80,000 of it will be used for a piece of software, virtual software called Cartwheel. That's a virtual telehealth platform that our employees could participate in. There's curriculum that goes along with the wellness opportunity, and then the under 125,000 would go towards direct services where we're contracting with different providers to provide services for our students. Kids Piece gets a small portion of this grant because it is a federal grant. Is that correct, Dr. Ainsworth?
It's a state grant.
State grant. So we would recommend the board approve our expenditure of this $240,000 state grant for mental health in our school system.
Okay, questions on that?
Have we applied for it, or are we just now applying?
We were awarded the grant as well as other counties across the state. Yes, ma'am.
So we'd like to have an approval tonight.
Yes, sir.
Can I ask for a motion to approve that, or?
I'll make a motion
We have a
to
motion?
approve it.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And that's everyone. Good deal.
Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Great stuff. Okay. Next, we'll look at the agenda, everybody had a chance to review the agenda for Thursday. Do we need approval on that? No, just review. Everybody had an opportunity to review that? Everybody's good with it? If that be the case, then, at this point, I'll make a recommendation that the board meet in executive session to discuss the future acquisition of real estate, safety and security, personnel pending or threatened litigation, and recommendations that are exempt from disclosure under the Open Records Act.
Make that motion.
We do have a motion
I'll say.
and a second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand, and then I'll consider this an executive session. We're gonna stay in here.
Mr. Chair, I think we can stand here, shouldn't be here.
Okay.
long.
ready? Are we ready? Okay, at this time, I'd like to ask for a motion for us to adjourn the executive session.
I'll make that motion.
We have a motion.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. And I'll consider us back in regular session. At this point, I'd like to ask for a recommendation that the board approve the personnel actions as presented by the superintendent.
I'd like to make that motion.
We do have a motion
I'll second.
and a second. All those in favor, raise your right hand. And now, we come to board member comments. Being none, I'd ask for a motion to adjourn.
Make a move, we adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, raise your right